See, part of the problem is we didn't have a place to hold these folks. And so now I'm working with Congress to increase the number of detention facilities along our borders to make sure that when we catch somebody from a place other than Mexico, there's a place to hold them. And our mission is to end catch and release once and for all on the southern border of the United States, and we intend to do just that.
I'm not sure that a lot of folks here in town understood what it really entailed.
Free the children now! Free the children now! Free the children now!
It's hard to imagine what the government was thinking when they contracted with an adult correction company to run a facility for children.
If you enter the United States illegally, you are somewhat of a criminal.
Me decía, ¿por qué Diosito no nos quiere a nosotros? Si Diosito tiene poder, decía, ¿por qué no viene y nos saca de aquí?
Do we want to be a country that has figured out how to detain families?
A prison in Taylor will stay open after all.
Since it opened, Teton Hutto Private Prison has fought to stay relevant. Then Homeland Security stepped in with a new mission for Teton Hutto. These cells will now hold people waiting to be deported out of America.
We had heard discussion in the spring of 2006 that they were going to open up a family detention center. But when I became really aware of it was when my clinic opened again and we began to get calls from people that were detained at Hutto. Initially, people began really to just call us about their immigration cases. We really weren't aware of the conditions at Hutto until we started going out there to visit.
Usually asking me, Mommy, here is a really jail. Did I say something bad? You think I am really bad guy? But I am child not going in the jail, Mommy. Not few hours, it's 4 days.
No, in the airport.
Oh, in the airport, few hours.
There was a Pacific Ocean beach.
We represent an Iranian family with a Canadian child. And that family had lost an asylum claim in Canada, but had been there for 10 years. They were promised by the Canadian authorities that it would be fine if they went back to Iran. Kevin, the Canadian child, was handed over to his grandmother, and both the parents were taken into the Iranian jails, tortured. And as many refugees do, they bought fake documents. It's very hard to flee a country and ask for a passport to leave. And in that situation, that family was not ever intending to come to the United States. It was just by chance that someone died on the plane and they landed in Puerto Rico. And instead of sending them on to Canada, they took them to Hutto.
Kevin said, I'm Canadian, why I'm here? We explained, you know, that's why we are not Canadian. They keep you with us here.
I told him, no, this is not jail, honey, this is detention. They said, what is detention? What is facility? Why we have a uniform? When he wanna use the toilet, he told me, Mommy, would you please go out? I told him, sorry, honey, I can't go outside. I have to stay in. You do it, I'm not look at you, I promise. Look at my head is the other side. But when I wanna use, but he say, Mommy, it's nasty, I don't wanna stay here. What should I do? When we are sleeping, emergency light was on. Kevin all the time had a complaint about that light. I say, Mommy, turn off the light, I wanna sleep. I say, I can't, it's not with my hand.
There are so many conditions that I was outraged by when I first got involved. The count 7 times a day, the 1 hour of education, seeing infants and young kids in prison scrubs and adults who were really, really depressed and crying, and really adults who had no idea what the outcome would be, whether they could be there for years, whether it would be, for a day. I've been into a lot of prisons in Texas, and in terms of its physical structure, it really didn't strike me as all that different from any other medium security prison I'd been in.
Hutto is not run by the Department of Homeland Security. It's run by the Corrections Corporation of America, which is a for-profit entity that runs prisons. That's why when you look at their manual, for example, or when you think about the rules, you can't hang anything on the walls, you can't have toys in the cells. I mean, all of those things come from a correctional model. You know, you have 15 minutes to eat, you have to finish your food, and then go back to your cell. So you can imagine trying to get your 2 little children to eat and have time to eat yourself, and that was told to us by our client who was 7 months pregnant.
Ahí, gracias a Dios que ahí encontramos, ya cuando pasamos, ahí, el río, el otro lado ya era Eagle, La Paz. Y entonces seguimos caminando nosotros, ¿verdad? Supuestamente nosotros ya estábamos cerca. Como decían Texas, dije yo, digo Texas, entonces estamos cerca. Pero no, estábamos bien largos.
Danielle had been the Hutto for 3 months and had never received any prenatal treatment until we began to complain about it.